Okay. Hey everyone, it's Jenna Williams, the Scream Queen with DamnationVault.com, and I am here with Dennis Sanders of Spirit in the Room. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Like really good because I'm super excited for this interview.
Me too.
Aw. Like first of all, at Damnation Vault, we dedicate every single interview to our veterans. So I want to take this time to give love and appreciation to them because, without them, like we wouldn't have the freedom to really do anything. So like just want to take the time to do that. And also like what does it mean to support our veterans to you?
Oh, it means everything. Support those who fight for what you don't fight for. Yeah, it means a lot. And I think
Yeah.
it's beautiful. It's beautiful that you're doing this.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, there are so many veterans that like have told me like music has helped them out of dark places, especially when they've been out in combat. So like yeah. First of all, like my first question, you guys signed with Housecore Records last year. So and you guys are coming out with an EP soon, correct?
Correct.
What all can you tell us about that?
About the EP?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that it's done.
Okay.
And I can tell you that we're working on all of the other little things that go along with it. It's just a slow process these days. It wasn't usually like this time consuming before, but now there's a lot of I'm really trying to dance around the pandemic thing,
Yeah.
but there's no way to dance around it. But yeah, it's taking time, but it's done, and it will be coming. It might not be out till next year. I don't know if I'm supposed to, I don't know what all I'm allowed to say.
Okay.
But it won't be soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like what can you tell about the album? Or the EP, because I've heard a lot of your music, most of your music, and you bridge together so many different genres. I mean, there's a punky aspect, there's a 70s rock aspect, there's like even hints of industrial, there's like so much. Like what are you incorporating in this album or this EP?
Very much the same differences.
Okay.
Every song's got its own personality, its own thing, and there's a couple people that I've played it for. I'll say it's very cinematic, and but it's not. It's definitely not just. You can't just categorize it as rock, even though it's what I ended up doing. I end up categorizing it as rock, calling it a rock band all the time to people. I really don't know what else to say it is, but it's not really a rock record. There's it's different. I'll say that it's different. I've been a fan of housecore for a while, and I'm very familiar with their roster. There's a lot of great bands on there, a lot of great artists, the Sir Six, Donovan Punch, stuff like that. And so I wouldn't feel comfortable saying it's too different from what they have on their roster, but it's definitely not metal.
Okay.
It has aggressive, really, really aggressive moments, but those aggressive moments are evened out with a lot of beauty and emotions outside of anger. There's a lot of depth to it.
Okay.
Yeah, very colorful. There's a lot of colors going on in this record.
Awesome. I'm excited to hear it.
Thank you. I'm excited. I really can't wait for people to hear it. It's just taken so freaking long. Nobody really knows what's going to happen in the next couple months. And, there's a lot of hesitation to put something out that you can't really tour behind,
Right.
I know a lot of bands released records and EPs through the pandemic. Great work that they didn't really get to support. And then there's a handful of bands that held off on the records that they made during the pandemic to put out till next year when they could support it. And I think that's kind of the route we're taking. We're going to put it out when we're able to perform it for people, you know?
Right. Like, and I also read that you would write all of your own music, like everything.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to start playing all of these different instruments?
I'm just a fan of me. I'm just a fan of bands. Like I'm a nerd of bands. Like I love, like I have lots of band tattoos, and I'm a lover of music. I've been in a lot of bands growing up, and I always kind of wanted more out of what I was involved in. And I, at some point, realized that if you want something done the way you want it, then you have to do it yourself. So I kind of taught myself how to do everything that I needed to do to make the music that was in my head. So it's pretty much it. I had something that was obsessing. Like I have this obsession with getting the sounds out of my head out to the world. And with that obsession drove me to learn how to, you know, record myself and how to play certain things. And yeah, obsession drives us, right?
Nice. Yeah, it does. That's what drives me with interviews, that's for sure.
That's cool.
Yeah. Like another thing that I noticed is you have a very like unique appearance with your stage performances, like with the when you open for N Minor's live stream, like it's just you had like dishwashing gloves on and a pink suit. You kind of had a Joker vibe going on too. Like what inspires you to be like just dressed like that? And like you were even watering a plant too, which was really cool. It was so different.
I've been dressing like a man for 30 years. So why not dress like a woman from time to time? I don't know. That was an event, you know, that was a special thing. So I wish I had an interesting answer for that. I just kind of, I like to keep myself amused, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times, like playing shows, you have lulls, you know, or dull moments in the set personally that maybe not everybody else is experiencing or noticing that you're going through. But, you know, sometimes during a set, you might get a little bored or something. So you get hurt. You get hurt. And then next thing you know, you're awake and, you know, you've scratched the itch, so to speak. I don't know, but you got to keep yourself happy. And I find myself to be quite boring at times. So why not just spice it up a little bit? I don't have a very interesting answer for that, but I'm really glad that it's noticed and appreciated, you know?
Yeah. Like I watched it like several times and it's so unique. It really was. So
Thank you.
I'm excited to see you guys live, hopefully soon, hopefully in the near future.
Yeah. God, I hope so. It'll happen. It's gonna happen. We'll keep it positive.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys do have a show coming up on August 13th in downtown LA.
Yeah.
Is that the first one that you've done since everything happened?
Yeah, that's the first one since well, the live stream, but the last time we played in front of a crowd of people was February of 2020. And we did a short little mini tour up the West Coast. You know, it was great. We had such a good time. And it was right whenever we were about to do the deal with Housecore around that time. And things were looking really good. Things were really great. And then what happened. And the deal got pushed back a few months. But, you know, there comes a point in time where you got to stop waiting, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what ended up happening. We're tired of not knowing what we're going to do and what we're going to be able to do. So the best way to do that is to just not stop and just kind of keep going. And so that the moment that we had an opportunity to do that, the downtown show, we took it.
Yeah, what are you most looking forward to about being back doing a live show again?
Seeing people happy and smiling, and this might sound ridiculous, but I'm looking forward to shaking hands and seeing people, you know, like I'm an introverted person. I don't go out much. I kind of keep to myself a lot. And once you, and that was by choice, you know, this is by choice. I don't have a thing against people. I think people are amazing. It's not them, it's me, you know?
Right.
But the moment that becomes something you have no choice, like we had no choice. We had to isolate. We had to stay away from each other. And that's when it became like, okay, I don't think I want to change these things about myself. And so that's what I'm looking for the most, is just socializing and you know, meeting people at the merch booths after the show and seeing people's faces, you know. And
yeah,
I love people and I miss them, and I don't want them I don't want to be taken away from them again. You know, I don't want, if there's a second lockdown, God. I mean, I think we're a little bit more equipped with what we're going to do at this time. Hopefully, you know, like second go around, we might have learned from the first go around, but I really don't want to be taken away from people again.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I know. Yeah. I've been going crazy without going to shows. So, because I miss being around people too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're a magnificent species.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. We create. I mean, yeah. Like, I heard your song, The Killing Moon, which features rest in peace, Alexi Laiho. How did that song come about?
I got a text from my dad asking me to cover it.
Okay.
So my dad asked me to cover that song. I did it. And Alexi is a brother, and he was just happened to be, and he was staying in LA at the time. His band had been off tour, or something was going on where they were just on a break, and he was staying in LA, and we were always like drinking buddies, and we'd jam and do covers. We have a couple covers that I'd probably never see the light of day. We did a really great cover of I Just Want You by Ozzy. Mm-hmm. And of course they're all like slowed down and different and everything, but that was like, yeah, my dad asked me to cover that song, and Alexi was around, and so he's a guitar god, you know. So yeah. And I'm not. So I was like, well, dude, and he nailed it. And it's funny because God, it's weird because I was listening. I hadn't really listened to that in a long time, and I was listening to it a lot the night before I found out he passed, which was,
oh, wow.
Yeah, it was very strange to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole thing sucked.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been to so many Children of Bodom shows. I mean, his playing was just incredible. So it's so cool that you like have that song. That's amazing.
Thank you. I'm really grateful. I can't tell you how many times where he and I would be in like a social situation, and going back to what I said about myself being somewhat of an introvert, I have my moments in public where I'm visibly uncomfortable, and no matter where we were, who we were around, he was always so real, and he knew me, and he knew whenever I was having a moment, and he'd be talking to fucking like his idol, Sebastian Bach, or like somebody, and he'd just stop and connect with me and be like, "You all right, dude?" You know, and it's like, he was just a very real person.
Yeah. What are some of your most favorite memories of him?
one night I guess he had gotten into an argument with somebody that he was close to, and he hit me up. He's like, dude, let's just go out and let's go do something. I'm not even gonna do his accent, but he hit me up and wanted to go do something. And the thing with him and I is we would just like going and doing something for him and I meant we'd go to like 7-Eleven and get a couple 40s and walk around or hang out in the parking lot of 7-Eleven drinking 40s. You know, he was just that kind of a guy. And one night I used to live in West Hollywood on the same street as the Nightmare on Elm Street house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like literally at Genesee, that was my street. And
wow,
he and I, yeah, and we got a couple 40s that night, and then we decided to just walk around the neighborhood and collect a bunch of snails. And we ended up with maybe 20 or 30 snails in our shirts, and we're just like, we got slug juice all over us, and we're just like, fuck it, let's go to the Elm Street house. And so what we did, we just went and brought a bunch of snails and dropped them off on the front porch of the Elm Street house.
Oh my God.
Just things like that, you know, like shit you do when you're a kid with your friends.
Yeah.
You know?
That's so awesome.
Yeah, there was a lot of great things. He was a very giving person, very generous, very down to earth, and real individual. Extremely fucking talented.
Yeah. Yeah. Rest in peace, Alexi.
Yeah.
We all miss you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing I saw is that you were featured in like up on stage with Deftones as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did that come about?
Family, friends. Chino and his family, and my family, were just friends, and we were on vacation together. And they happened to be doing a one-off show in Hawaii, and we were there. And we would always jam. I have songs of him and I just fucking around on a drum machine on my laptop, just like we would just make music and fuck around. Never anything serious. Yeah, we were just on vacation together, and they were playing, and he asked me if I wanted to play with them that night, and I know that song. I've been a huge Deftones fan since I was a kid. I know all of their music, but I never played that song. And Chino has his own style in every way, but when it comes to guitar playing, he's self-taught, so you can't really duplicate what Chino's doing because it's what he's doing. Everybody's an individual. Everybody's unique. That's why I don't buy into the whole, there's nothing original anymore. Everybody's original. Everybody, yeah. Nobody does anything like anybody. But anyway, back to Chino, his guitar playing is very strange and the tunings are strange. So I learned the song that day and played with him that night. It was pretty cool because I've always I had always just growing up kind of imagined that, and so it got to happen, and that's I cherish that. So that's awesome. Cool that you saw that.
Yeah, but when I saw that performance, I just was like spirit in the room and had to watch like as many videos as I could.
Thank you so fucking much. That means a lot. Sorry for cussing. I cuss a lot.
Oh, no fucking problem. Fuck is my favorite fucking word.
Right on.
You have like a cross symbol, like a regular cross with an inverted cross. What is the symbolism and meaning behind that?
Well, what do you think? What does it mean to you?
Like, religion is it's kind of like a dichotomy of religion in a way.
I would remove the religion part, but yeah. What's interesting to me is I was talking to somebody once, and they're like, "What's up with the upside down cross?" I was like, "Oh, that's funny because that's the main cross is the right side up, but the first thing you noticed was the upside down cross, and I think it's up for interpretation, but to me, it was always meant to be like the band name is like Spirit in the Room is basically to me like the fly on the wall. And yeah, the cross to me it means something to me, and I don't want to take away what it means to anybody else. So I just kind of, I let everybody else have their way with it, you know?
Fair enough.
But I'm saying that, I then turn back and go, we'll take the religion out of it. But that's you. Keep your religion with it, you know, like
Well,
I'm all for it.
yeah, well, it like has like a profound statement because I mean, like anyone can look at a cross and then like judge it, and like it's cool because you have both aspects of it, because so many people get offended by inverted crosses. So
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. It's very unique, and like it definitely makes a statement.
Thank
And I
you.
love that it's pink and white too.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna do. There's been a couple different colors versions, and I think we're coming out of the pink, or the pink era. So we'll see where it goes after that. But yeah, light and darkness, it exists everywhere, and you can't have one without the other. So
Yeah, you know, in a way, it's kind of like a yin and yang sort of thing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like I
Thank
love
you.
it.
Appreciate it.
Like, and I read that you have it, or like you were a kid, you had such a fascination with death that you would put dead animals under your bed and stuff. Like it reminded me of Dead from Mayhem.
Yeah, yeah. I guess I did speak about that in an interview at one point. But yeah, I was obsessed with death. I still kind of am, you know. I'm not really into the things that I was into as a child, but yeah, I think about death a lot. But I think about life a lot too, you know. It's like light and dark.
Yeah,
You know, you can't have one without the other. Literally, you can't have life without death.
very true.
Yeah. I was obsessed with death as a child.
What drew you to being obsessed with it?
I think that I have an answer for that, but it's pretty deep, I guess.
Okay.
I grew up as a kid. I grew up, there wasn't much supervision for me growing up. So I kind of had to learn how to do things on my own. And so being that there wasn't anybody like, and you know, this could be the opposite for some people that were upset, like that were forced to only focus on certain things. So they're, you know, naturally they wanted to rebel and they focused on things that they weren't supposed to or weren't putting their faces. I don't know, but being a kid, I remember when Kurt Cobain died. I remember that day very clearly. And I was I was a sponge, you know, like we all are as kids, we're sponges. And when he died, and then they released those photos of like an aerial shot of the greenhouse that he died in, and you could see like his legs poking out from behind a door. And that just triggered so much fascination. And so I just became obsessed with trying to figure out what was on the other side of the door, the parts we weren't seeing. And, you know, I didn't have any parents to be like, no, you know, focus on, you know, I had parents, but they were doing their own thing. And nobody was really like steering me in a direction that you should steer a child in. And so, yeah, I think it stemmed a lot from being a kid and my favorite musician killing himself. So, yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
And yeah, and lack of supervision.
um, like, what would you say, like, with your fascination with death, has it been the most, geez, getting like a brain scramble at the moment. Oh my God. What would you say, like, or how would you say that your fascination with death, like, impacts or impacted your music?
Well, if I wasn't able to, if I wasn't able to make music and do what I'm doing, I'd be dead. So it is an outlet and a lifesaver, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. the only way to live forever is to create something that you can separate yourself from, you know? And so I'm grateful for that, the fact that, like, my thing is, if when I die, I don't have kids, I've never been married. When I die, I'll have some songs that people can listen to, and I really like that. I listen to dead people all the time.
Same here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I probably come off really morbid, but
that's awesome though. I mean, darkness and art, music go hand in hand. I mean,
yeah,
really does. I mean, that's another thing like we're all about. I mean, you said like without the music you wouldn't be here, and that's another thing we like mental health awareness, like we're really trying to get that out there too. Like what are some of the songs that have like brought you the most mental clarity that you have written?
Vicious Eyes.
Okay.
The song Vicious Eyes. That song is a lot to do with my struggles with the chaos that's up here, you know. The lyrics, I think, paint a pretty obvious picture of that. But I mean, and then it happens to be one of our more popular songs, and you know, I see how it affects other people, and it's just like it's the greatest. It's the greatest reward when someone reaches out to me that I don't even know, or even someone that I know, and they just anytime someone tells me that something like that I've done is helping them through a dark period in their life. It's a heavy thing, and that song has, I guess, been one of those things for people, you know, a life preserver or a soft place to fall, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I write about that a lot, you know. I mean, who honestly feels that they can talk to? You hear that?
Yeah.
Sunny Los Angeles. It's pretty crazy out there. But back to what we were saying, like who honestly feels like they have someone to talk to about every single thing that goes on in their brain?
Right.
I don't. Right. I don't. And I have some amazing friends, you know. But you know, like if I couldn't write about it, I couldn't sing about it. Like I said, I would probably be dead. And yeah, so those are common themes in my life, and I use music as a tool to help me through it, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like
Thanks.
Like another thing, like you guys from the videos that I've seen, like not only the housecore or the opening for and a minor, but like the other live videos that I've seen, like you guys have such a amazing stage energy. How do you feel like you translate your energy that you have like on the albums into your live shows? And I guess it could be said the opposite way too. Like, how do you like translate your on-stage energy into like an album?
Well, in order to translate the on-stage energy into an album, you have to basically do one or two takes. You hope that you catch the fire in the one take. And a lot of the guitar tracking and some of the vocals on a lot of my stuff is just one take, because you mean it the first time. The second time you're thinking a little bit more, and the third time you're overthinking, and the fourth time you're just trying to get it perfect.
Right.
It ain't about perfection. It's about projection. And yeah, so a lot of to translate the live to recording, that's just a lot of like one takes and just catching it, lightning in a bottle. But for me personally, to translate to a live setting, you can't be afraid to look stupid. You can't be afraid to fall. You can't be afraid of it's just, you got to know that the bull is loose, you know, like somebody lifted up the gate and the bull is out and you better fucking run. you know. And to me, that's when you have that, once you know that it's your time, it's lights, camera, action, go. Who gives a fuck what happens? That's how you translate it live. You just don't. You just let yourself go, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm grateful to play with a group of musicians that understand that, and they also know how to stay out of the way. You know, so nobody wants to get hurt.
Right.
But sometimes people do get hurt, and at least on stage during our shows. You just kind of gotta let loose.
Yeah.
Or anything. Don't be nervous. Or if you are nervous, use that nervousness to just go, fuck it. I can't have calm before the storm. Like I know some, like my drummer likes to relax and chill before he plays. I need fucking chaos. I often like to smash things if I can, you know, or kick things around. I just need some chaos before the storm. So everybody's a little different, you know, but
yeah.
That's
awesome. Well, those are all of my questions. So like, I thank you so much for doing this interview. It's been so amazing.
Thank you. I really appreciate your interest and your time.
Thank you. Like I'm just, when I said, when I first saw you guys perform on there, like it just was mind blowing. So.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
I can't wait to see more. Oh, I can't wait to hear more.
Yes, you will.
All right. Would you like to say anything else?
Just thank you. Thank you to anybody that pays attention. You're not unnoticed. We see you, we notice you. We're not too cool to say thank you or hi or anything. Thank you to Housecore. Thank you to you. Thank you to anybody that gives a damn and that's trying and doing something. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for doing this interview and being so open and everything. Like it's been very interesting and very deep. So very unique.
Thank you.
So, yeah, well, I hope you have a great rest of the day and thank you so much again.
You too. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.